So I getting back to my random things, just thoughts, uh, opinions, observation, kind of stuff. I'm not affiliated with any party. I was not told or instructed to say um, certain things, but it's just a question that's on every African's mind. And I say African, which is the question of opposition parties. When you look at African history, you see that the party that wins first tends to sort of win forever, right? There's no balance. It's not 50-50. And it's not about wanting the deserving party to lose, but it's about having an opposing opinion or having different perspective being brought forward. Um, with significant willpower, and that is numbers of seats in parliament. That's where our laws are debated, the laws of the people. So now 2015 is a confusing year for a lot of people. It's like a lot of people don't know where they are or what happened or what's happening, right? And especially opposition parties. Apart from the DDA of Namibia and RDP, the opposition parties have been mum. Like, I have not heard from Mr. Lucato or his opinion on the victory of our president-elect. Swanu, I haven't heard any of those parties making any kind of noise. Even APP is silent, and one would expect them to address at least their members. But I guess there is a sense of disappointment now from everybody. Everybody is looking at each other like, what have we done? Right? They are like, what have we done? What's happening? Everybody keeps on hearing about Chinese deals, Chinese this, Chinese this, new building costing how many millions, private jets and all of that. And people are like this isn't fair. And it isn't fair because at the grassroots is the citizen that isn't heard because they are too busy surviving to mind, right? So the opposition parties, if anything, should be looking at the grassroots, not of towns, but the grassroots that spread out in reserves, in the villages, and so forth. Now, there are people that are doing very well for themselves. but there are people who are not. And most of the projects that have been announced are all money consuming. And this has rattled up a lot of people, and the opposition wants to know what they can do to remedy it, to not let this happen again. And if I was an opposition party, the first thing I would do is get everybody's mind off the competition. Don't mind the competition. Don't look at that party, right? Look at your party. Because if you have a strong party, even if it doesn't have a lot of funding, if you have strong, loyal members, that party will end up generating loyalty to from other people. The thing about our politics is it's politics of money, or as they call it, politics of the belly. And that is a political science term, by the way. So as an opposition party, when someone says, what can you do for me? Their answer is, we can speak on your behalf, or if we are elected, we'll be able to do this and that. But I think with the little that any opposition party has, if it has the willpower, it can accomplish a lot. The DDA of Namibia is rebranding. They've noticed that they are held back by the baggage of the past. I'm presuming. I wouldn't know. And this is true. Now, apart from just letting go of the baggage of the past, look at the present. The current plight now is land, right? But that cannot be the main focal point. The focal point has to be more significant. And having a more significant focal point is breaking barriers. And these barriers are barriers of tribe. I have, RDP is still viewed as the party, the frustrated party that left SWAPO, right? That's how they are viewed. So when they speak, they are viewed as the disgruntled cousin, or the disgruntled ex, or something like that. So that image has to be removed. And one of the ways of doing this, believe it or not, is not having such colorful attire. I don't know where Namibians got the idea that the more colorful you brand your party, the more appealing it will be. It's actually the exact opposite. The more colorful it is, the more it seems like a show. So having a more calmer colors reflect a sense of stability. That's what calmer colors reflect. So, and the sense of stability then would also apply in how mature the competition is engaged, when they are engaged, when they are engaged, because they don't have to be engaged all of the time. So, calling on the members of a party to participate in a calmer movement is also a part of building a new culture of politics. Because you see people they are so overdressed, faces painted, like it's Manchester United that's playing a football team, and political parties are supposed to represent the country, something very, very significant. Very significant. The issues that they tackle are very, very important and close to people's hearts. So, if you want people to take you seriously, approach them seriously. Saying that, the old song is, after 25 years, that party has failed us, and so forth and so forth. The language also speaks, and that is the language of someone that feels intimidated. It might not, those are not the words that come off, but that's how they end up resonating in the back of our minds. So our parties lack another significant thing. They only focus on one leader. They should brand their top party officials, party members. They should brand them to the point where they are viewed to be just as significant as the president, to the point where they are viewed as collaborators and not just followers who happen to be on top in the party, because that is the nature of opposition party politics. Even the members that hold high office in parties seem to be followers of the person that's in charge, and thus followers of the party, and thus just mere members themselves. So that's another aspect where a lot of African countries fail. I'm talking about opposition parties now. That's where they fail. And our neighbor has this, where they have representatives who are branded and so forth, but everybody knows they are stooges. They are stooges. So the nature of the leadership on top ends up defining the nature at the bottom, and as such ends up reflecting badly on a good party. So when party members are speaking, especially, this is the generation of many platforms. They should address their public. They can do things like make a video and make it mobile friendly and have their people WhatsApp the video to each other, or have a party YouTube channel where the president has addresses. The people just have to feel involved. That's the party that people will follow, because it involves people. And just as top officials are also given equal light, the leader should be championed. The leader should be championed. The leader's charisma should be displayed. The leader's nobility should be on display. And that kind of leadership should be allowed to be had by the lower officials as well. That I think is all I have to say about opposition parties and how I think they could improve, because they have 4 years. And another thing, the best speakers should be in parliament. I'll use RDP for example. One of their best speakers, a lady that shines like a beacon. She just fits. She just fits with that party. I don't know, she fits. And she knows how to articulate herself. And more importantly, she's a lady. A lady who is not intimidated by men. A strong lady who speaks up. Why this lady didn't make it into parliament is beyond me. This would have been the woman that would have been making headlines for that particular party. And when the next election comes, people are familiar with the person. People have seen the vocal participation of the person, and this person would have followers, people that follow her, who then in turn follow the party. So you should have leaders. You have leaders in your party. You empower these leaders. These leaders, in their own capacity, start to get followers. and these followers in turn become the new members, become the new voters. I think that um, would bring a lot of balance in our parliament. And just an opinion. That's what I do. I just so have a great Sunday.